Hi, I'm Matt.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. We have an excellent show planned for you today. And
Ooh, you said
and
excellent.
thanks for joining us. Yes, I think it's
Are
going to be
you
a great
thanking
show.
me for joining you?
I'm thanking you for joining me as well. It's going to be a great show. Some of the things we're talking about today is, of course, we're going to be talking about the first of the Second in Jazz at the Omni Theater. That went off extremely well with Bob Baldwin. Also, we talked to some young kids who are trying to figure out how to increase their options in terms of getting into college football. So they got an opportunity to spend some time with some pros. And a second installment on getting you ready for summer, spring, and getting you out there on some bike centers with the bike shop that we've been working with. So we'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Be the first this spring with the latest in fashion at GQ Unlimited at 8th and Broadway and Indian Trail. This spring is all about the Empire blazers and the new bow ties made of feathers, cork, and wood. Hats by Dobbs and Stetson and shoes by Stacey Adams and suits by Sean John Perry Ellis, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and Michael Kors, all on special buy one and get one half off. GQ, where the well-dressed man shops and shops and shops.
Southern Indiana's #1 Toyota dealer. Hey folks, just take the bridge for savings. We're offering employee pricing for everyone who walks through the door. Remember, you pay what we pay. Come see me, Rodney Carter. We're closer than you think. Just take I-65, exit 4, Lewis and Clark Parkway, across from the Green Tree Mall, or visit us on the web at JeffWilderClarksvilleToyota.com.
Magic 101.3, Kentuckiana's #1 station for R&B. Magic 101.3.
Me that green light. With your permission.
We're live, local, and Louisville. Magic 101.3, the home of Steve Harvey and Morning Show. We are Magic 101.
We did a great segment. At least I had an opportunity to go out and meet a bunch of young men who are trying to make that transition from high school football to college football, and they got to work out with Rico Hughes, brought in a lot of pro athletes to tell them some of the pitfalls and trappings of getting into college sports. So take a look at this piece. I'm here with Rico Hughes, and you are responsible for this program. Tell me again how this came about and why it's so important for our kids in this area.
Well, you know, years ago, we found that there was a dip in the scholarship numbers, and a lot of kids in Kentucky was getting overlooked. And we wanted to create a program that would allow them to get the exposure that they deserve, put them on a big stage so they can perform, and hopefully get to college and get college scouts' attention.
So, in your opinion, what is Tier 1 football talent?
Tier 1 football talent is someone who goes to a major Power 5 university, you know, the ACC, the Big 12, the SEC, and so forth. But, you know, our chief concern is that kids go to college in general and that they come out of college debt-free, you know, without student loans. If they can play at any level of collegiate football, then we want to champion that cause.
Do you think a lot of these kids really understand the importance of excelling on the field and in the classroom?
I don't think they really do, but I think we're continuing to emphasize it, and I think they're getting it slowly but surely. And I think, you know, if we use a village to kind of communicate that, I think that we'll conquer it sooner or later.
And if the kids happen to miss this opportunity today, will there be other opportunities?
Yes, you know, our program starts in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So these are kids that have come through our program at a middle school level, and they're in the high school level currently. So we're just trying to renew their commitment to get to college and renew our brotherhood, and then try to push on and creating profiles for these kids to make sure that they get the attention they deserve from college coaches.
All right. If people want to find out more about you and the program, where can they get that information?
They can go to our website. It's KentuckyFutureStars.com. KentuckyFutureStars.com. This is our 9th year of this event, and you know, we've put over, I want to say, from our program about 70 kids in college.
Well, football is big in Louisville, Kentucky because of the success that the University of Louisville had, and we've got two former players here that you'll probably know, Jamon Brown and also Chris Redmond. Welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Glad to be here. Anytime we can come back and help the community, I'm jump at that opportunity, and what a great event this turned out to be.
And Jamon, you?
And I got to piggyback off what he said. It's a great opportunity here we got. We want to come back and give the youth some of our expertise, and hopefully they can take our spots one day.
So tell us about the camp and some of the things that you hope to accomplish.
Well, we're going to do a lot of, I think we're going to start off with some 40s and some testing to kind of see where the kids are at. And then after that, we're going to just get into some drills and see where the kids need a little bit of improvement and just kind of work from the bottom and all the way up to the top. And I know there's some good athletes in there, so it should be a lot of fun.
So what do you look for when you're watching these young men go through the drills?
For me, it's really just drive. You want a guy that's going to compete at whatever drill he may be in, and kind of do to the best of his ability whatever he's being asked. So coachability will be big, but mostly drive.
So being in the NFL now, you're playing for the Rams, correct? What's that experience been like?
It's been a dream come true. Making it to the highest level is something that, starting as a young athlete you dream of, and being able to accomplish that has been great. But it's a constant grind, and constantly trying to get better, constantly trying to evaluate yourself and make sure you put yourself in a position to help the organization.
So what does it mean to you to be able to come back and continue to give back to your community?
When you make it to the highest level, I think you have an opportunity to be on a pedestal, and you got to use that pedestal to the best of your abilities. And that's what I think that's what we try to do is come back and being around this guy just a little bit. I can just tell he's got the heart of gold, and you want to be that's kind of contagious, and you want to give that to these kids and to show them like, hey, if you get an opportunity to make it, which is a very small chance, but if you get that opportunity, that you should give back. And I think that's what we're doing.
And when you look at these young kids out there, I know when they see you all, I'm sure their eyes lighten up because you're people that are where they would love to be at some point in time. How do you keep that in terms of, keeping it manageable in terms of expectation, but at the same time, don't crash any dreams?
Well, you have an opportunity. Any person out there, you're a big guy or small guy, you have to go out there and give it all you have. And if you have an opportunity, that's all you can ask for. And then, whatever happens, that's kind of up to the big man in my mind. So we'll see what happens. And you got to have that fire, or you don't have a chance.
Well, I'm here with Justin Green, who is a former NFL player with the New England Patriots, also a Super Bowl winner. Do you have that ring on?
I didn't ring.
How do you come out undressed without your ring?
You know what? That ring's pretty. It's pretty hefty. Yeah. So I want to. Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
if I'm going for a ball, I'm gonna need that horn. Most definitely.
So tell us about why you're here today.
Well, I got the opportunity from Rico, of course, and he told me there's going to be a whole bunch of high school kids out here and younger kids. So I just thought it was a perfect opportunity, for me to pass on the blessing and come out here and have some fun with the kids.
So tell me some of the things that you tried to instill in the kids that you talked to.
Basically, everything around the game of ball is, you got to have a good mindset, and then everything's, you have to be very, very disciplined, and you have to be very, consistent on what you do. So, just basically just passing on, life's lesson, on how I made it, and in a couple of experiences on a couple other players that I've rubbed elbows with. So, just basically passing on, everything I've been through to the kids.
And, you're someone who is, you started here and you definitely went to the top because you came away with a ring. What was that experience like?
It was definitely, it was mind blowing. And, I was at home one day working at the YMCA, and then I got a call from the Patriots one day, and, that was all she wrote. So it was just, it was an experience that I had no idea, that I would, be able to become a part of. So, when it finally happened, I was just like, wow, if you really work hard and if you really put your mind to it, great things can happen. So,
it's kind of great just having an opportunity to talk to some people who've taken it to the next level. Not only playing in high school and excelling, playing at college and excelling, but having the opportunity to perform on Sunday afternoons. And, I think they had some great information for these young men.
It's exciting to see them peel back the layers, if you will, so you can have a deeper and better understanding of the whole scope of it. And then just sharing all those experiences with the young men, I think it was exceptionally great.
Right, and they spent a lot of time with them, taking them through drills and letting them know that football is important, but you've got to be a complete person. So, and I think that's the most important takeaway. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Good afternoon, it's Rodney Carter. From Jeff Weiler Toyota in Clarksville, for your automotive tip of the week, we want to talk about tire rotations. We want to talk about the life of the tire that you have on your automobile. It doesn't matter what brand you have of tire, it doesn't matter what car you have. At 5,000 miles, folks, you need to get your tires rotated. So that means not 2,500, not 3,000, but every 5,000 miles, you rotate your tires, and it will prolong the life of your tires. Rodney Carter and Jeff Weiler and Urban Lifestyles, tip of the week.
My name is Laurentina Smith. I've been with Louisville Water Company for 18 years. Right now, I'm a lead operator apprentice, and what that is, I do operate as an operator when my relief is gone on vacation or is not here. You know, I step up as a lead operator because I do have my license. Well, we take care of making sure everybody has clean, fresh water, safe water when they turn on their tap, basically. And what we do is make sure everything runs smooth here. We pump the water up from the river and bring it up here and treat it, and it goes out to the customers. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking because it's scary because, you know, not only we take care of make sure the customers have water, that's our family too. So you don't want anybody to, you know, get sick over what you know, producing. So what we do is try to make sure that we send out fresh, clean drinking water. It's a career type job, and you're learning stuff every day. I like the fact that every day it's never the same. When you come in every day, it could be something different, and I like learning. I like being at the plant. I love being up here and experiencing different things and not being out doing the same thing every day. It's every day when I come here, it could be something different. And I love the fact of being able to do that. And when I step up, that's important. And I love it. My family likes that I have this job. My father would have been proud of me. He's not here now, but he used to bring me up here all the time when I was a little girl. I have family members that come in from Alabama, Georgia. They love our water. They do. Yeah. Okay. They wish they can bottle it up and take it with them. Pure Tap, the best in the nation. Louisville Pure Tap.
Energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during a storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to certain.
You know, one thing we've been trying to encourage people to do is to be more active, and we know spring is here and summer's just around the corner, but it's that time to start figuring out some things that you can do and that you can do for a long period of time. And one of those things is riding a bike, and we've been working with Middletown Cyclery and working with Ross out there, putting together a plan to get people out on their bikes. So take a look at this piece. All right, we're here with our second installment on riding bikes, and it's something that I'm sure we all did as a kid, and of course many people all across the country are getting back on bikes again. We're at Middletown Cyclery, and I'm here with Ross Horsley, and today, last time we were here, we got Denise all fitted up. She thinks she's all of that now because she's got her bike and she's ready to get out there on it. But if you're going to get on a bike, I know it's not a law, but having a helmet just makes good practical sense.
It makes a whole lot of sense putting a helmet on, and it isn't law, but it's like putting your seatbelt on. And some of the things, it doesn't take a whole lot to have a head injury, so it's very smart to wear a helmet, obviously. Different helmets, they all have the same safety standards.
Okay.
So when you look at different helmets, a $25 helmet is going to be just the same comfort as a $200 helmet, but the nicer helmets will have different features. They'll have more airflow. They won't weigh as much. It's comfort and quality that you're paying for.
So when you go up in cost, you say from $25. This one here is what?
Well, let me see. I get you.
So
this is a less expensive helmet.
All right.
And you'll notice it doesn't really have much in the way of airflow.
Okay.
And then something like this, it's your wind's going to go straight through it. You're going to ideally you'd feel like you didn't have a helmet on your head. So
Okay.
the more you spend, the less it feels like you have a helmet on your head, pretty much.
All right, and then I see a lot of different types. Now, are there different types of helmets that you should look at, like for road bikes and off-road bikes, and what's the difference, and what are you looking at from a safety perspective?
Well, mountain bike helmets specifically will typically have a visor. That's not really a safety thing, but they also have a little bit more protection that comes back down off the back, because a lot of the real injuries with mountain biking will be falling directly back on the back of your head, so you have some extra protection here.
Okay.
Now, your road bike, you won't, and they're typically going to go for a little bit lighter, sleeker look. Like this is kind of more of a traditional road bike helmet.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the biggest difference. Now, there is a new thing. They call it MIPS technology that comes with helmets, and it's like you have a floating piece in the helmet. So what that's supposed to do, if you hit, it moves. So that's supposed to reduce concussions, but it's kind of new. People like it, but that's not, I wouldn't say that's the only reason to buy a helmet right now. There's still some cool helmets that don't have MIPS on it, but.
Okay. Now, can you, even though we say this is for maybe mountain bike, but could you use some of these with the, because I kind of like the little bib on it. I think it gives me a little protection from the sun. So could you still do that?
You could totally ride them wherever, and a lot of it, is a style thing, So if you like the way it looks, go for it. Yeah.
And for me, it's
I
all
ride
about
my mountain bike stuff on my road bike too, so I'm right there with you.
All right, so the next thing we want to look at, so we're finding a helmet. So now we want to move over to looking at shoes. And I know there are a couple of different things that are out there. We talk about just getting a shoe that's a mountain bike style, and then we talk about clipping in.
You definitely have to talk about the pedals. Too.
Okay.
So they make different styles of pedals for different styles of riding. The road bike has a bigger platform, and that's supposed to reduce the pressure on your foot. This is more of a mountain bike pedal, so it's a little bit smaller. I think most people, if you're more in the cycling enthusiast and not a racer, I actually recommend most people ride this mountain bike style. This is the same. So a couple things about this style. You can actually use them at spin class. It's the same clip, so if you have shoes for that. Also, the different shoes. This is a mountain bike style shoe right here.
Right.
So the cleat is recessed there.
All right.
So you can still walk in this normally. So if you were to go into a store or go to the bathroom, you could still do that. Where with the more of the road bike style shoe, this is flat. So you have a piece sticking off of here. So you're kind of clicking around in your heels. And the performance benefit, it's got a little bit bigger platform, a little bit better power transfer. However, I think the convenience of the mountain bikes is better for most people that are enthusiasts, for sure.
All right. So, you were talking about clipping in. I know when like I said, I've been riding my bike since forever, but I have never been one of those that clip in. And you've convinced me, because if Denise is going to clip in, I'm definitely going to clip in, because she can't outdo me.
She'll leave you out the dust. Well,
so what are the benefits of clipping in?
Well, benefit of clipping in, you get to pull as you push. You're going to use more of your leg muscles. The other benefit of the shoe, it's a really stiff sole here, so you're not going to get a hot spot on your foot. So you're not going to get, it's going to be more comfortable, and then you can pull as you push. So on a normal pedal stroke, you're only going to have kind of the bottom stroke right through there. With this, because you're clipped in, you can pull all the way around, and you're going to go up hills better, climb better, be more comfortable, and it's just, if you're going to have a nice bike, you kind of have to have the shoes, in my opinion. But
and some people are concerned about clipping in because they think it's a safety factor. My foot's going to be locked in. I'm going to fall over. I'm going to be more accident prone. I'm nervous about that. So how do you help them to get over that fear?
That can be a legitimate fear. One thing about these mountain bike pedals that I'm recommending, they're much easier to get in and out of. But one of the things we do, if you buy a new bike from us and you get the shoes and pedals, we'll do a fit. So the bike is going to be stationary, and you can kind of clip in and out while you're on it. And that's going to, if it wasn't the right thing for you at that point, you'd really know. But most people just have a really easy time with it. And they're adjustable. They're very easy. You wouldn't have no problem.
So if you're riding in tennis shoes, if you're riding in street shoes, that's something you really need to step away from, because it's a safety factor, and also it's more comfortable to have a bike shoe that's built for biking.
I'd say if you're gonna, if you're doing family riding around the block, don't worry about the shoes. But if you want to get a nice bike and you're going to spend the money and you want to get the most out of it, you're really leaving some performance on the table if you don't clip in. So,
so you got us covered. We've got helmets, we've got shoes. So now, of course, we've got to look at gloves. So what are we looking at when we're talking about putting gloves on? And we need to, where did we have some? We had some gloves, right here. So we're talking about gloves.
So there's different styles of gloves, just like for your mountain biking. Your mountain biking gloves are typically going to be a full finger glove because they're worried about you clipping stuff on trees. The road bike gloves are typically going to be a short finger glove like so. A couple of things, if you were to wreck or have a fall or anything, this is going to protect your knuckles and your hand. But it also, your palms will typically get sweaty when you're on a long ride, and that's going to reduce that. You're going to get better grip. You're not going to get as much pressure points on your palm, and most people just really are much more comfortable with the gloves. And same thing with the shorts and the shirts. A lot of people think the cyclists are dressing this way to look cool. It's not. It's because it's more comfortable and it's going to give you more performance. So
right.
yeah.
It was good getting back with Ross because we're talking about helmets and shoes, things that we kind of take for granted, but they really make a difference. And one of the things we were talking about was clipping in, which is something that I've always been trying to stay away from. But if you're clipping, I'm clipping.
I've got it down, but I love cycling, staying fit, just being out in the atmosphere, it's something you can do solo as well as in a group. So when I am not on speaking terms and seeing eye to eye with him, I can just get out on my bike and just go out and
you
relax.
Can ride far, far away. And everybody
that's what I'm saying.
And everybody will be happy. So hopefully we'll see y'all on some of the bike trails this summer. And speaking of getting out and doing some things, we're doing some things with Rodney Carter.
Yes.
And what are we always looking for?
We are still always looking for new show ideas.
That's right. So if you've got a great show idea, be sure to go to our website at www.urbanlifestyles.net. And that's lifestyles with a Z. And if we happen to use your show idea, you can win a free oil change from Jeff Weiler Toyota. And go by and see Rodney and tell him that Urban Lifestyle sent you. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Be the first this spring with the latest in fashion at GQ Unlimited at 8th and Broadway and Indian Trail. This spring is all about the Empire Blazers and the new bow ties made of feathers, cork, and wood. Hats by Dobbs & Stetson and shoes by Stacey Adams. And suits by Sean John Perry Ellis, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and Michael Kors, all on special buy one and get one half off. GQ, where the well-dressed man shops and shops and shops.
So on March the 30th, we launched the kickoff Second and Jazz at the Omni Hotel. And I'm telling you people, it was a fantastic event. We had close to 500 people in the house.
Yes.
Bob Baldwin and Lori, who is the female artist, they put on an excellent show.
Yes.
We want to give a huge thanks to the Louisville audience that came out because you showed up, you showed out, and I think everybody had a great time. So look forward to more artists in the series. What do you have to say?
Oh, it was exceptionally great. I mean, it was high energy. Bob Baldwin was speaking with us and talking to me afterwards, and he was so appreciative of the audience that was out. That's you all, Louisville. And he just said it just kept feeding him. And it was just synergy in the room, the dancing, the listening to the jazz, and the whole ambience of the Omni.
All right, and you know what? I think now we should probably show you some clips from some of the things that went on at Second and Jazz at the Omni. So we're with Bob Baldwin, and you are signing CDs, never out of season. You've got them all. You gave an excellent show here tonight. We had about 400, almost 500 people here. Definitely a blessing. So, you know, how do you explain what you do and how do you keep doing it so well?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the people of Louisville coming out to check me out. I was here last summer at your Derby City Jazz Fest. That was amazing, and I'm honored to be coming back. This is my 30th year doing this. I got 23 CDs out. I just, it's about longevity and consistency, man. And I'm blessed to still be here talking about it.
So what inspires you and what keeps you going?
Well, my dad taught me how to play when I was 6 years old, so that was the initial inspiration. Of course, I grew up listening to great artists like Stevie Wonder and Herbie Hancock, and later on Jeff Lorber, and people I end up meeting like Dionne Warwick and Marion Meadows and so many other great artists. So there's just so much great talent out here. I'm just so glad to be married to some of the collaborations.
In terms of musically, is there anything that you haven't done that you would like to do?
Yes, I like to do a straight ahead record on I got this this piano that I'm absolutely in love with. I don't own it. It costs $150,000. It feels like butter when you play it. I need to put that on a record, and I aim to do that at some point within the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, you know, if you happen to miss Bob Baldwin tonight, he's going to be back here August 10th and 11th with the Derby City Jazz Festival because he did such an excellent job. He was excellent when he was here in 2017. We've got to keep the partnership going. And when you find a good brother that you just kind of mesh with, you got to keep it moving forward. So, Bob, thanks for all that you do.
You're a good brother, so I need to be messing with you, man. So
it's all working. Hey, look, we got CDs here for you. Bob Baldwin, Never Out. We got Baldwin. This one doesn't even have a name. It's just Bob Baldwin. Standing here with Lori Williams, and she performed with Bob Baldwin tonight. Excellent. This is her CD. If you don't have it, this is something that you definitely need to pick up. So, Lori, tell me a little bit about your jazz style. Who are your influences, and how did you get started?
Diane Reeves is my influence. I love her a lot. I've been doing this for, oh my gosh, so many years. Started at Hampton University in the 80s.
My daughters went to Hampton.
Awesome, and my daughter too.
Okay.
And I worked in a lot of the jazz programming there, and I was on the radio station there, and I've been doing this for a minute, but I'm just grateful to have a chance to work with Mr. Baldwin and get this out.
So what is it like to be able to, you know, have a passion, have a conviction, and to see it all come to fruition?
It's a blessing. That's bottom line. It's a blessing, so I'm grateful.
So what are some of the things that you try to accomplish in your CDs? And when people are listening to this, what's the message that you want them to take away with?
I'm a teacher, so I'm a high school music teacher, and I always like my students to see that, you know, when you can put your mind to it, you can do it. So as a vocalist, I'm doing it, and I'm gigging, I'm doing the work, and I'm putting the effort into it, and they can do the same thing. So it's about motivation and inspiration.
So your style would be?
Oh my gosh, I do it all. I'll do a bluegrass gig if somebody asks me to. So, but I like jazz. I mean, so for me, it's about I do straight ahead, I do contemporary, I do neo soul. I do whatever it calls for. I'd like to be passionate about the music, and it's about feel good music. So that's what I do. That's my style, feel good music.
And I'm sure this is a very difficult question. What's your best song? Well, what's your favorite of all of the things that you've got on the 3 different CDs that I'm looking at?
That's great. I Can't Make You Love Me.
Okay.
I like that one. Yeah.
Personal?
Yes. Take it off screen.
All right. We'll follow up with this after the camera. Thanks for spending some time with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And once again, you want to pick up this CD? I've got it backwards, so it's not going to help you. We're both holding it up. You hold up a different one than I'm holding up. So this is what you want to get. If you don't have this in your collection, sorry, you are missing it. Well, we hope you like what you saw at Second and Jazz at the Omni. And remember, the Derby City Jazz Festival, year number 3, is coming up on August 10th and 11th at Churchill Downs. Stay tuned for ticket information and the list of the artists. But I'll tell you, one of the headliners is who?
Will Downing.
Will Downing. You know what? That's our show.
That's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyle.
Bye.
This is another InfoSong production.